Hi everyone, today we will be making black bean brownies and chickpea chocolate chip cookie dough. These are both low sugar vegan treats that I can't wait to show you, but first we need to do some dishes and we need coffee. Let's go.
I still need to get more ingredients out, but we're running out of room, so let me grab the rest of them real quick and then I'll show you what we have. Also, this red mark on my wrist is because we went to like an expo thing today, so they stamped us so that we could go out and come back in. Promise it's nothing nefarious. I have counted, and all of this plus the raspberries which are in the freezer is 17 ingredients to make the two totally different, super awesome, low sugar vegan treats that we're gonna make today. So I'm super excited to show you guys this.
Firstly, you want to get the oven set up if you're like me and keep your other baking trays in there. Take those out first. Get the trays at the right height, and then you want to set that to about 180 Celsius or 350 Fahrenheit. To make the black bean brownies, we're going to be using these super cute silicone cupcake tins that I got just from like the warehouse. I think they're about $4 each, but they work so well.
Part of the reason why I wanted to show you guys two things today is to also let you know that you don't need super fancy appliances to make these. I did recently get a really good blender, and I will make one of the items in that and then one in my food processor, but I've made both of these just in this little Kenwood food processor that we got a couple of years ago, and they still turn out awesome. So just a basic food processor. I know that the ones from Kmart are actually really highly rated. Just one of those, and you can do both of these awesome desserts.
Although the recipe calls for black beans, and these are technically black bean brownies, I wanted to show you guys that you can use basically any beans you have in your cupboard. Today we're doing red kidney beans, but they'll taste basically the same. We then add a banana. This helps to bind it and also has really good natural sugars. And of course, we want to put our banana peel into the compost for later. I've added to this recipe oat bran, or just oats that you can blend up beforehand. This just gives it a bit more protein, so it's a bit more of a substantial snack when you have it. A teaspoon of vanilla essence, 3 tablespoons of coconut oil, and of course, since these are brownies, we need some cocoa powder. I'm aiming for about 1/2 cup here.
Wait, dog, no. No. Now
that we've got that in, we need a teaspoon of salt and about 3 tablespoons of soy milk, though I sometimes add more later if it's just a bit too thick. Alright, so we pop the lid on and then get that going on my Vitamix blender, which I only recently got and I so love. It's looking a little bit thick, so I'm just going to add a little bit more soy milk and then see how that goes. Alright, so once it's nice and smooth, we need to add in the rest of the ingredients. So you want to take that, put it into a different bowl that you can get your mixy mix on. At this point, I realized that I had forgotten the baking powder, so you know what, we're just going to add it in now, mix it in, and this recipe is pretty forgiving, I think, so I know it'll be fine. I also wanted to add in a little bit of coconut sugar. I tried this and the banana didn't do quite enough for the sweetness, so we'll add in just a couple of teaspoons of that. I like to add walnuts, but you can do kind of any nuts here that you like. So almonds would be good, maybe cashews, maybe pistachios, whatever you kind of feel like. Or if you're not a nut person, you can just leave them out. These are brownies, so of course we will have chocolate chips. You can see I'm kind of just estimating what I feel like on the day. So I think we went for 2.5-ish, like palmfuls of chocolate chips. Oh, and my favorite, raspberries. I don't know about you guys, but I love the combination of chocolate and raspberry. It is just so good to me. So then we're gonna mix all of that up nicely. Because this isn't like a cake, you can't really over mix or anything. So just mix it as good as you want, and then go ahead and divide that up between the 12 spots in the muffin tins. Okay, so we will get those in, set that timer for somewhere between kind of 20-25 minutes, just depending on what your oven does. While the brownies are in the oven, we'll make the chickpea chocolate chip cookie dough. So first ingredient obviously is chickpeas. To sweeten this, we will use dates, which I'll soften first by adding some boiling water. At this point, I realized I needed to double check the recipe. Next up is half a cup of oats or oat bran, and then 2 tablespoons of LSA. The recipe actually calls for this in reverse, so half a cup of ground almond or LSA and 2 tablespoons of oats, but I prefer to do it the other way around. I'll add in a bit of stevia for sweetness. A teaspoon of vanilla. I'm not sure if you're meant to use the cap to measure, but I always do. Then we add 4 tablespoons of peanut butter or almond butter, or I think there's a few other substitutes for this if you prefer not to have nuts. I really like the taste of peanut butter, so that's what I go for. For those who aren't in New Zealand, this fix and fog peanut butter is the best. I love it. Alright, so those dates have been soaking for a bit, so I'm just going to tip the dates and the water that they were in into the mixture. Since I've used more oats than normal, it needs that bit of extra water. We'll do half a teaspoon of salt and then get that blending. It was a little bit thick, so I added a bit of soy milk and we'll just see how that goes. I wanted to check the texture at this point. Since this isn't baked, you want it to be kind of the texture that you would like it to eat it. So this was still a bit kind of thick and chunky at this point, so I'll add a bit more soy milk just so that I can get that blended up a bit further. This is what we want to see, that really nice and smooth texture, just like we did with the brownies. Again, we'll put this into a separate bowl to add in the last of the ingredients. I tasted it here and it still wasn't quite sweet enough, so again we're just going to add a little bit more coconut sugar. I've been loving this stuff recently. And of course, where would we be without the chocolate chips? So a good sprinkle of those, and then we just mix that on in. At this point, the timer for the brownies went off, so I just pulled them out, gave them a little stab with my cake tester, and that came out clean, which means that they are done. So in about 35, maybe 40 minutes, we have 2 different awesome vegan desserts. Both of these will keep in the fridge in a sealed container for a week easily. I could not resist trying some at this point though. always so good. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I hope you have fun making these recipes. Let me know down below how you go. Check the description for details. Bye!